What's going on, everyone? Anthony here with AC Toys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are reviewing the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Target exclusive Mighty Morphin Ninja White Ranger. Now, technically, these aren't the Ninjetti Rangers from the movies, obviously due to copyright or whatever Hasbro is having difficulty with. But as you can see here, it is in your standard Power Rangers Lightning Collection box art for now. Obviously, Hasbro is moving towards their plastic-free packaging, and I think the first set of figures that is going to get those, well, I guess technically they've been doing it for a little bit now. The putty pack, the cog pack, I think maybe one other, maybe one other is plastic-free. They've been slowly going into that realm, which is quite a shame, but we'll get into that later. Right here you have the box art that wraps around the side, Power Rangers Lightning Collection, more of the artwork on this side, 3D rendering of the figure at the top, black at the top instead of white, legalese here at the bottom, the barcode right here if you guys want to scan that at your local Target. And yeah, that's enough of this intro. Let's go and crack this guy open and see how cool he actually is. All right, and here we have the figure out of packaging, and wow, I am really digging this figure. I know there have been a lot of complaints online about how the quality control on these Ninja Rangers is, well, by far the worst that Hasbro seems to have done with this line thus far. Luckily, I was able to find some at my Target. There were a lot in there that were messed up. There was like huge gold mispaints going across his chest. There was like Tommy head sculpts with like weird brown marks all over it. It was definitely lucky that I was able to find one in the decent condition that I did. Now, this isn't perfect. There are a lot of like splotches here and there. There's some paint going on right there. But anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump into the accessories of this figure. Let's see. Obviously, he comes... there we go. He comes with the two close-fisted hands on him out of packaging. He also comes with a set of karate chop, or he comes with one karate chop hand right here, and then one kind of like posing hand. It's not quite a karate chop. As you can see, his fingers are kind of like bowed compared to this one. It's just more of a posing hand or whatever. And then he comes with this new lightning effect, which kind of ports into his foot, which gives him this little cool swooshing effect, actually. If you can just pose him ever so correctly. Mine has a lot of loose joints. That is the one downfall of my figure, short of paint apps. So as you can see here, it's very loose. But if you can get yours standing just right, it gives it that swooshing effect, which is pretty cool. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of these lightning effects. I honestly prefer Build-A-Figure pieces over this, but it is what it is. And then he also comes with this head sculpt right here, which is more keen to the show, because obviously, you know, it was to hide their faces for stunt doubles and whatnot, unlike the movie, where I guess they didn't have as many edits. And if you, already lost a piece. So he comes with the fully masked up head, and then this little small bandana piece that kind of like goes together. And then he has this bigger bandana piece that you slide over, where his mask is more down instead of fully on. So then you have these two side by side. And this is more keen to the movie version of the show. And if you're wondering why they added this and how they were able to get away with it, I would assume because in the morphing sequence on the show, there was a split second where like when they go from like fully unmasked to this mask, it's there for a split second before they go into their full ninja mode mask, or mask mode, whatever you call this. So I'm guessing that's how they got away with it, of adding this head sculpt in, which I'm perfectly fine of, because now you can actually make a movie scene, because, you know, the Tangas are the exact same suits from the TV show over to the movies. The only difference is their name. They went from Tengu Warriors to Tenga Warriors. A lot of copyright issues with the movies between them and Fox/Disney. But I'm happy we're able to get this head sculpt. And then last but not least, he comes with, let me pop this on, his fully unmasked head sculpt, which isn't the best Tommy head. It also, it looks kind of big for the body, in my opinion. I don't know if that's coming off on camera or not, but like the head sculpt looks a little big, doesn't it? Is it just me? It's not really coming off on camera. In person, maybe it's just this little piece right here. Maybe if I take that fully off. Nope, that makes it even worse. Anyways, this isn't really the head I'm going to be displaying him with. Honestly, it's probably going to be this head right here. Is the movie version. So that's how I'm going to be displaying him. And then if you want to see him with his like karate chop hand, he's like that. And then if you want to see him with his posing hand, you have him like so. Really good, really good. So let's go ahead and jump into the details of this figure. The amount of like sculpting details on this is not bad. It's basically a very baggy ninja suit. So you see like the sculpted wrinkles going across his crotch right here, going across his pants, going across his arms. It's a really good sculpt, don't get me wrong. Obviously, they're only going to be able to reuse this mold so much, which is probably why they made it in a Target exclusive, because you know they had to get Target to pay for this somehow. There's also double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, both of them pinless. So as you can see right there, gives the suit a nice clean look. One thing about the figures, I don't know if it's all figures or what have you, this piece right here is basically just a slide over piece to cover up the torso, but mine has this huge gap between the waist and the crotch. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. I tried pushing it down, nothing really moves, so it's still there. So I don't know if that's just how this figure is designed for articulation or whatever, but just note that that might be a thing with these figures. I have to check whenever my other figures come in. So yeah, great figure. The back sculpted also once again. This is a great figure, guys. I honestly, I can't believe we got these figures so soon. There is a little bit of a peeling going on right here. Not too bad. As you can see here, there's like a little chip right there on the ankle. That's minor. Gold is painted on very nicely. The black diamonds are painted in very neatly. There's some chipping going on my black belt. But overall, the emblem of the falcon is done very nicely. This face sculpt is done very nicely. There's a little bit of a paint mishap going on across this eyebrow, but overall, not too bad. Yeah, great figure, guy. Let's go ahead and move into articulation. So as far as articulation goes, he is your standard Power Rangers Lightning Collection with a lot of extras, actually. So you obviously have his full 360, a lot of side to side because of this. Pull it off. This is the newer ball joint style that they seem to be switching over to. Before it was like a hinge where it just kind of like went back and forth. Now it's a barbell effect going around in a little circle. The only thing about these is that you can't look back very far or down, which I don't know why they switched to this one. So just have that in mind. You have the shoulders that will go out about that far. Very good amount. We'll do full 360. Has shoulder or butterflies. I'm going to go back about that far, forward about that far, upper bicep swivel, so we'll rotate full 360. Once again, the pinless double jointed elbows. I'm going to go that far. You have wrist rotation, full 360, hinges pretty far out, pretty far in. You have a upper ab crunch, which is shown right there, but this little overpiece kind of hinders it quite a bit. So he can't really look down very much. Doesn't look back very far either. Does have a full rotation at the waist. Little bit of side to side, but I think that's only because there's a gap right there. You have ball jointed hips that'll only go excuse me. You have ball jointed hips that'll only go down about that far. But with this new articulation, he has pull down hips. So the hips can come down ever so slightly to go ahead and give you that bigger splits, which is what these figures have been missing from the get-go. I don't know why it's taken them so long to get drop down hips. I know these newer molds are starting to get them, so that's good. But yeah, it does go up and down just like that. You have upward thigh swivel, double jointed pinless knees, boot cuff swivel, and Hasbro ankle rockers that'll go back, forward, left, right, full 360 if need be. And yeah, your standard, well, I guess you're not your standard, but your newer articulation form for these newer molds. Hopefully, it looks like the Trini and Jason 2-pack that's coming out is going to have like the newer sculpts. So hopefully, I don't think it's going to be fully implemented just yet, but they are definitely slowly coming out with these newer articulations for these Rangers, which I think should have been in there from the get-go, seeing as how they're, they're all karate, like fighting figures that could never really do the splits, which I found kind of weird. But yeah, guys, that is basically it. Let's go ahead and jump into a quick size comparison. I don't have too many figures available, but let me go and show you which ones I have. All right, and here we have Tommy next to the metallic Black Ranger, that probably one of the more newish molds of MMPRs that I have. And then we have him here next to a Tanga or Tengu Warrior, however you want to call it. So yeah, he scales pretty well. He does seem a bit shorter than this Black Ranger. Obviously, because like these newer molds, the helmet sits a little bit higher on the neck peg, which I prefer. But it does make like a more civilian Ranger look a little bit smaller. So final thoughts on this figure. I definitely highly recommend him if you can get him. He is actually available currently as of the recording on Target. I will leave links down below on where you can get him, but he is also showing up in stores. If you can, I do recommend you go into the stores and try to see if you can like pick out which one you want. If not, obviously ordering online is probably going to be your best bet. I think Hasbro Pulse is sold out, and those should be shipping out pretty soon. But either way, I highly recommend this figure. It is a great figure, great articulation, great sculpting. The only issue is obviously the paint QCs that is going on. We'll definitely see how much further into this line I'm going to be going into. $27.99, that's already kind of pushing it for a single release figure. I think I'm going to draw the line at $29.99. If it goes past that for a single non-exclusive release figure, I think that might just be when I have to drop this line. What about you guys? Where do you draw the line at a single price figure? When I started collecting, obviously these were $19.99, moving up to like $22.99, then $24.99, $26.99. As I mentioned before, Marvel Legends is already at the $27.99 price point for a single release figure. The Target exclusive Spider-Man Noir is $29.99 for whatever reason. I guess because it comes with a spider ham. I don't know what that means and why that costs an extra $3. But it is what it is. So, as always, until next time, guys, later.